This weekend, this Saturday to be exact, is the Celestine Streetfest. Joining us in the studio is Tony Buechler. Tony, welcome to the show. It's good to have you here.
Thanks, Bill. Always appreciate you guys having us on.
Well, there's a big party,
Yep.
and I think it's known that when Celestine has a party, you have a party.
We try hard.
Well, the Celestine Streetfest is when?
Yep, so it's this Saturday, June 26th, on the grounds of St. Celestine Church. It's a one-day event, begins at 8 in the morning, goes until 1 a.m. Sunday morning. Just a day full, jam-packed of activities. It's a great socializing, gathering event for people in the whole area, as well as a fundraiser.
Now, the nice thing about the Celestine Streetfest is really it's kind of the same for the most part, but few little changes.
Yeah, so the Street Fest is a relatively new event for the Du Bois County kind of festival scene. That 2010 was our first year, and those were events building up to our 175th in 2018. It was organizational, let's work the kinks out, let's develop our teams and our crews, but we got good at it really quick. The crew that started it did a wonderful job and pulled in great volunteers that, by year 3, it was like, ooh, this, not only do we have it organized, but we're making money too. So we've kept evolving it and growing it. We had a big 4-day fest in 2018. We went back to 1 day in 2019. We had an imaginary fest in 2020. And now we're back in 2021 with generally a schedule that looks very similar to 2019, but with some events moving around, like dodgeball's back this year. It wasn't there in 2019. And few things moving around, but it's pretty much the core event that if people have come the past few years, they would have experienced.
And you're going to have a special kids area sponsored by German American.
Yes, so we try to set this fest up where it's very low cost to attend. We hope you come, enjoy the beer garden, buy some food, but you can bring a family out and really have several hours of enjoyment for very, very low cost. And we certainly thank German American for their title sponsorship of the Kids Zone. But so the morning is, is kind of focused. Morning, midday has got a heavy focus on the kid kind of activity. So our Kids Zone opens up at noon. It's got inflatables. It's got all kinds of the great little carnival kids games where you can come and get stuff and take something home easy. And then we've got a tractor show that the kids can crawl around on. Weather permitting, we're going to have something new. You were asking what's new this year, and one of the things that's new is the Life Flight helicopter is due to do the training with the Celestine Fire Department. So it's going to come out Saturday morning, weather and emergency permitting, and going to land around 10 a.m. And then not only are they going to do the training to train the fire department newest members how to help land and situate, it's going to land in the cemetery just down from the main fest grounds. But then they're going to let kids come and tour the chopper. They're going to get some exhibition and demonstration of it. So, that's very cool. And so then that'll lead up to when our big kid event is the kiddie pedal tractor pull, which is under the big tent. We have a lot of kids. I think, what do we have? Five weight classes of kids. It takes like 90 minutes, 2 hours.
Yeah.
So you sign up, you do it, you go to the inflatables, you play the kids games. The Du Bois County Country, they're now rebranded the Cloggers, the Du Bois County 4-H Cloggers. Now the Clogging Clovers will be on stage at 11 to 12. So, a lot of kid activities going on in that morning. And then the kids stuff is all open until 8 o'clock at night. So definitely a kid, family friendly, let's try to bring the kids out to Celestine, give them a good memory that they'll remember. Hey, what'd you do this summer? Oh man, I went to Celestine Streetfest and, played on all these inflatables and there was this helicopter.
And all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned you make it affordable.
Yes.
You are not requiring a button or admission to the beer garden.
Yeah.
Which is a great way for
no entry fee, no beer garden entry fee, no parking fee. It is come out. Even if you just want to come out and walk through the grounds and be like, meh, okay. But you'll have a great time if you come out.
Now, a lot of reason people go to the Street Fest is because of food. Food is really the same, but a little different.
Yeah, we're going more of walking around food this year, where it's going to be more things that you can. We're going to have tents and tables for thousands of people, so it's certainly you can sit down and have a slow eating meal. But it's going to be a little bit more of carry around type food, where it's going to be a large order of nachos, but that you'll be able to eat with a variety of meats that you can choose from. That's one of our premier items, as well as Celestine. What the best sellers at the restaurant is the tenderloin sandwiches. Celestine's really known for tenderloin sandwiches. So then we'll have tenderloin sandwiches, turkey tender, half-pound orders of turkey tenders, potato wedges, our haystack peeled potatoes, the kind of spiral style potatoes, as well as, ribeye sandwiches, chicken sandwiches, grilled chicken sandwiches, bratwurst, hamburgers, cheeseburgers. A good variety, but we're going no dinners this year necessarily. It's going to be a little more walk and carry around food, and that's available from 10 a.m. to 1 a.m.
Okay, so yeah, it's eat anytime you want.
You
during
betcha.
The day. The big event is the Def Legend.
Yes.
In reference to Def Leppard.
Yep.
And I know you're really excited about that.
Oh, very
and that's
much.
going to really bring people in. Let's talk about that.
We like to try to have some entertainment at Streetfest that you cannot see anywhere else in Southern Indiana in a given year. We like to give people a reason to come to Celestine, and we've had several tribute acts in the past few years. And then so we're on the grounds of St. Celestine Church. We're an all-ages fest. Our stage is mostly in the public area. It's not necessarily a beer garden stage. So we're always looking for entertainment that reaches a wide group of people, family friendly. So I cross paths with this Def Leppard tribute band. They're based in Dallas, Texas. It's just a real short drive to Celestine for them to come play. And I mean, they're incredible. I am a Def Leppard fan. I've seen Def Leppard half dozen times myself live, something like that. And these guys are note for note identical representation, and they bring a big show, video, lighting, effects, and what's really interesting is, I'm a musician myself, they use all the same stage setup as Def Leppard, so the sounds are the same. I mean, they could swap their stuff with Def Leppard stuff and it would be identical. And so that's from 9 to 11 on the main stage. And I know we're going to have a big crowd, but we've got a big viewing area. We'll have a bunch of people packed in front of the stage right next to the beer garden. But you'll be able to watch it from tents and stuff as well. But I know that people will appreciate coming out. And this is definitely the kind of show that if you were going to a different venue, you'd be paying $25 to see. But it's going to be completely free.
Yeah, and whether you go in the beer garden or not, or whether you eat food or not,
Yep.
it could be
Absolutely.
free for you.
Yep.
But you'll want to eat because the food is cheap.
Oh yes,
and the food is
yes,
really good.
Yes, we have very affordable food, And so speaking of food, another place where you can eat earlier in the day is we've got a great car show. The Celestine Streetfest car show I really feel is one of the very best in Southern Indiana because it's in Celestine Park, so it's completely canopied and shaded. Which is a lot of these car shows tend to be out in fields with a lot of sun, and looks like we're going to be warm on Saturday, not crazy, but so the car show, we welcome anybody to come register. We typically have over 100 entrants. That registration is from 8 to noon, and then we give awards at 2:30. We have a food stand down there as well that actually serves breakfast, and then serves lunch into 2 o'clock. And then just up from the car show is we have a tractor show as well. So the Celestine Park, you kind of walk up the valley from the cemetery up to the church. So all very close nearby. And then the other morning activity that a lot of people come out for is we have a 5K that's sponsored by ARI, Advanced Rehabilitation, that starts from the happy hour parking lot downtown Celestine at 8 o'clock. That's a 5K. You've been to Celestine? It's not flat. It's not flat. It's not the easiest 5K of the Southern Indiana rotation of 5Ks. It's a good challenging one. And then we have a really neat kids fun run, a quarter-mile fun run at the end of it, totally free. And that's where at Leeds, the kids that do that at 9, they're done with that in time to go up to when the kids zone opens at 10. It's good setup in the morning for people to come out. And most of the cars are there in the car show pretty early, so that they can come through and then that takes us into the midday, when we've got several things in the midday, early afternoon, kind of more for adults and the young at heart.
You're about the only place that I know that has a Sheephead
Yep.
Tournament. So you have a Sheephead Tournament?
Yes. Yeah, Standard Processing sponsors our Sheephead Tournament. We have a lot of people in it. I think it's, there's normally like 100 participants in it, and it's definitely a destination. There is a crew of people that play Sheephead in Celestine on a regular basis that rotate around different restaurants. So that's registration for that is at 11, and then that starts at noon. It's all under the tent. The beer garden opens at noon. So you can go right at the beginning of Sheephead Tourney and get your first alcoholic drink of the day. And then, so we try to make sure we have community fun. A lot of the community members are volunteering and working and making this thing happen, welcoming people to our town. But we try to make sure we have some community fun. So in 2019, the new event was a community scavenger hunt that went gangbusters. It was a hoot. and a bunch of teams. All the details of everything I'm talking about is up on CelestineIndiana.com or at Celestine Facebook, Celestine Indiana on Facebook. But so at 1 o'clock we have that community scavenger hunt, and then at 3 o'clock we have a dodgeball tournament down the tennis courts by the elementary school, which is, there's 2 different age brackets, so there's kind of the teens and under, and then the older teens and older. So there's room for teams of all ages, and so that kind of fills in that mid-afternoon.
And you're going to be on the grounds anyway. You can even go to Mass and then go right back out.
Yes,
you can walk in, go to Mass.
Celestine was founded, the name and the community really founded around the founding of the church in 1843. That's what we really commemorate, which was the actual organization of the town. So Mass has moved up a little earlier, 4 o'clock at Celestine Church. Lots of parking. If we've got parking on the west side of church. So the event happens in the east parking lot at Celestine Church. We didn't really hit that exactly. So the west side of church, the hillside going down the elementary school, that's kind of parking for elderly and those that are a little mobility challenged so that they can be close. Then we've got grass parking off of 164, like going towards the fire station and the big water tower. A lot of parking there. So 4 o'clock, we'll fill church up. So it's very funny how the fest, since I think we're unique that we have Mass at our fest, so that we have like it's not an opening ceremony, but it is. Church ends and about 500 people leave church and walk down those sidewalks right into the fest, which is 150 feet down from church. And then it's like, oh, there's people here. And then at like 5:15, oh, there's people here.
Fills it up pretty quick.
Oh, very fast. Very fast.
Now this is a fundraiser.
Oh yes.
This is one way that Celestine makes money to do things.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yep, absolutely. So it is a communally operated fundraiser where all of the groups, all of the service and community groups in town are putting this thing on together under the name of Celestine Streetfest. So the profits then are divided equally between the Celestine Community Club, the Good Shepherd of Hills Knights of Columbus, the Celestine Park, the Celestine Volunteer Fire Department, and the Northeast Du Bois Parent-Teacher Organization, as well as St. Isidore Parish. So when you're coming out, you're really supporting all of those things. Celestine's a village. We don't have a taxing district. None of these groups get funding from anything, and they're all suffering a little bit from having no event in 2020. This is a good, profitable event that all of them build into their budget, and that wasn't there in 2020.
What are some examples of what they're going to do with that money?
Yeah, so Celestine Park is just about to launch a new renovation project where they're going to add on to the kitchen and update the inside of the building, which has not been updated really since it was built in the 90s. So they've been fundraising, but I'm sure they're going to earmark the fundraising to that. St. Isidore Parish is about to launch a upgrade to the interior of the church. So I'm going to guess that these funds will be earmarked for use there, in that project as well. Celestine Community Club, I'm sure many of you have been out there for weddings and other gatherings, has been doing a lot of improvements. A bunch of it came from the money from the 175th, but there's more that wants to be done to the kitchen, to the flooring, more upgrades. Celestine Fire Department, they're always improving that. We've got such a top-notch fire department and equipment. And at Du Bois Elementary, the PTO, they supply so many things for the kids that the kids don't have to buy, and good activities. And then I'm a member of the Knights of Columbus organization. We're a pure service organization. We just go out and help people and do projects and find needs in the community and route the money to that. So the money really gets put to good use, and it. We've got a lot of great stuff in Celestine. People come to Celestine Community Club for weddings and events and graduations, and they come the same to the Celestine Park. So it does benefit the county at large, because I know a lot of people end up coming to Celestine for different events over the course of the year.
All right, well, this weekend, this Saturday, we want to point out Saturday is not a multiple day event. It's one day event.
A single day event. And when you look at our schedule from that 6 o'clock on, we really got a lot of stuff. That's why maybe we're about ready to get back to a 2-day, because when you look at this schedule from 6 to 11, you're like, Tony, that's a lot. One new event this year, Celestine Park gives away a Distinguished Service Award. And they didn't get to do it this year, COVID. It's normally a breakfast luncheon after church. They were like, let's be careful about gathering people. So they're like, let's do it at the fest. We'll do it on the main stage at 6 o'clock. We are going to recognize the 25 some odd previous winners as well, briefly. So that'll be about a 20-minute presentation. So around 6:15, 6:30, more kids events. The kid event of the evening, we got the helicopter in the morning. The kid event in the evening is Magic with Style by Bob Altmeyer at 6:15 to 7 on the main stage. A very participatory magic show, lots of family fun. And then we do have an opening musical act before Deaf Legend goes on. At 7 to 9, we've got Bobby Clark from nearby Boonville, Indiana, who has played our fest before, along with his guest, Tommy Stillwell, who, in my opinion, is the best guitar player in Southern Indiana. They'll be doing a two-man acoustic electric duo playing rock and blues music as well as original music. Some of you know Bobby Clark is John Mellencamp's first cousin and wrote John Mellencamp's most recent hit single called Grandview, which is about Grandview, Indiana. And it has a strong singing and visual resemblance and is just fascinatingly entertaining. And then, so that leads us up to where we get dark-ish around 9, and that's when Deaf Legend plays. And then Celestine has a wonderful beer garden. If you've never spent a street fest with us in a beer garden, it's very full, it's very social and entertaining, but we always have Boogie Tunes as our headlining act. They really are our headlining act. Boogie Tunes Entertainment then goes on as soon as the Deaf Legend band finishes, about 11 o'clock until we turn the power off at 1 a.m. to them. And there will be a crowd in front of them DJing that I don't know that looks like that way at any other event in DuBois County. So the evening is very heavy with entertainment.
It's a very unique festival, like all of them in their own special way. The Celestine Streetfest this Saturday at Celestine, Indiana, right around the church. And actually, you can find Celestine.
Oh yes, right off of 164. If you come through there right now, you know we're having a fest because the parking lot is full of tents and stage, and
already
something's happening up there.
And the weather really will be great. Don't let the chance of rain.
We have it's paved lot, parking lots. It's the biggest paved parking spot in the town. That's why we're on it. So rain doesn't stop any of our events from happening. We've got tents and tables under tents for several thousand. We got a lot of fans. So if we get a shower or brief rain, it'll roll on with it, and it's paved. It dries right away, and it doesn't hamper the fun at all.
All right, Tony, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
We hope to see you at the Celestine Streetfest this Saturday. Our guest has been Tony Buechler. He is with the committee with the Celestine Streetfest in Celestine, Indiana. Thanks for joining us for WJTS in.form. We're local people watching local people.